Of this.
The whole...
Yeah. This is a red twig dogwood. That's that grove I showed you a second ago where we planted all of these. These were sticks about 6 inches tall, these red twig dogwoods. And they have these gorgeous blue, kind of whitish too, berries at this time of year that the birds love. They're not, as far as we know, they're not edible. And there's a, let's see if we can catch it. That's a tiger swan, or tiger swallowtail butterfly. Here's a couple of our guineas. They are free range, completely free range, these guys. They are amazing, fascinating birds. And yes, they're delicious to eat, far better than chicken, in our opinion.
And then you understand why they're used.
But they are, we're not going to eat these guys. We're too attached. But they are picking bugs off plants. And they happen to love ticks. So they're great to have around to eat up ticks, which obviously can be a problem for people to get ticks biting them.
And they let you know anybody's in the territory.
Yeah, anything unusual. They know us, so they're not squawking or having a big fit about us. But if we were strangers, they'd be cackling away, creating this huge ruckus. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful birds. This is the tiger swallowtail butterfly on one of the flowers in the healing garden that we spoke about earlier. And that's a healing. It's healing just standing here. It's healing just watching the garden, watching who comes to the garden, like that guinea hen that just ran by. All the beautiful colors of the flowers, the beautiful expressions of life. I am trying to catch this monarch butterfly right here. Not catch it, but catch it on camera. See if I can find it. There it is. Oops. Bear with me. There's the monarch. There's the monarch butterfly right there, feeding on that red zinnia in the healing garden. By the way, the monarch butterflies are endangered. So this is a beautiful sight for us. And the guineas aren't the only ones that free range around here. Here's a fine looking rooster. Free ranging. It's the best way to keep these animals healthy, is to let them be in their natural habitats, just walking around. So this is the garden close to the house, and this has got things like agastache, lavender, Joe Pye weed, some crepe myrtles. We've got in here, that's a big elderberry bush, artemisia. We've got echinacea, yucca, creeping jenny, scutellaria, which is another great herb. We've got feverfew in here. We've got some, this sage here is an annual sage, but it survived winter last winter, so it became a perennial, at least last winter, because last winter was so mild. Over here, these bright magenta flowers are hibiscus, another great herb. We make a cooling tea in the summer. Hibiscus tea is delicious. And they're just beautiful flowers. Another view of the garden. That's a hardy banana. It's not going to give us bananas, fruit bananas, but it's banana leaves, and it'll survive winter. It'll die down to the bottom again. It'll be like a perennial, but it will come back up. And here we have a wonderful native flower here called Indian pink, or Spigelia marilandica. And it's just a beautiful plant that's really quite hard to get, you know, to plant in the garden, but it's a wonderful garden plant. It's so beautiful, and it flowers all through the year. We have a witch hazel bush. We got some phlox behind there. We have red twig dogwood. There's a sweet Annie that just kind of volunteered and grew. We have different kinds of echinacea. We have monarda, bee balm. Here's Asclepias, butterfly weed, and you can see a little butterfly on that. That's beautiful, blooms for so long. Helenium. There's a basil we put in here, which we use every day for cooking. We have more echinacea back here. Beautiful healing plants. Beautiful for the birds and the wildlife too. Fringe tree. Here's the rain garden, and we take lots of pictures of this because it's just so beautiful. This big, huge plant here is the Joe Pye weed. Abre Camino. Right next to it is stinging nettle. Doing beautifully. We've got some rudbeckia back there. We've got echinacea. We have lobelia, 2 different kinds. The red cardinal flower. We have Amsonia. We have penstemon. And the butterflies. Look, there's a monarch. Oh, yeah. Monarch just went by. The plants love it. There's liatris in there. There's so many different plants. There's coreopsis. And it's just a beautiful world.
Look at these flowers.
Like the swallowtail. Yeah, the Abre Camino. It is a majestic.
This is what, the second year?
Third year.
Third year.
Majestic plant. There's the swallowtail.
Among all these medicinal plants,
there's also
deadly plants.
Deadly poisonous plant.
This here.
Hemlock. Poisonous hemlock.
And when we say poisonous, we mean poison.
Like poisonous, like wear gloves to pull it out, kind of poisonous. And then back there's some more pokeweed. Of course, it's everywhere. But what a beautiful rain garden, catching the rain, absorbing the rain, and just creating such a beauty and such a wonderful place for the birds. The hummingbird loves it in here. It's just so beautiful. And there's a witch hazel in there as well. Chelone or turtle head right here. And we can see it from our house. You can see it from our deck. Sit out here, watch it, watch the hummingbirds come and go, watch their little territorial battles, the goldfinches. So many different animals love this garden. The bees, the bumblebees. And here, this is our garden. And it's not, plants planted in rows. It's not all things that we selected to plant in here. There's a lot of what a lot of people would call weeds in here. There's just an abundance of life. There's a datura plant over there, the redbud tree here that we did plant. Back in that hedgerow there are multiple berries. There's wine berries, there's blackberries, there's black raspberries that the children in particular love to eat. And in here we also have locust trees, we have sassafras trees, oak trees, walnut trees, tulip poplar trees. When we want to make a spiritual bath, we just walk around our garden and start picking up plants because we have so many of them. It's a beautiful abundance that's here that we value. Over there, there's a log that we're going to make into an inkisi. That log there, that's locust. And then right by the locust is goldenrod, another beautiful kind of late summer blooming plant. And then over here we have our little quail house, which has also some bantam roosters in there and some bantam hens. They're just learning how to crow. And then the quails, we have about 60 quail in here.
It's a manigua bird.
Manigua birds. There's the roosters, the bantam roosters, so cute. And the quails, and little brown birds. They vary from tan to brown. And we hatched them from eggs earlier this year. We created a natural habitat for them, the kind of habitat they like. Made this whole structure.
They're good eating and good for misterio.
They are. They're delicious eating. They're good for the misterios. There's one of the cats. Keep going up the trail to our Manasso, a well-worn trail. into our Manaso clearing, the various Manaso houses, the Manaso gardens. We've got ferns in here, got some bamboo, got some malanga plants, which of course we're going to have to dig up the bulbs for overwintering. They will not survive the winter. A lot of hellebores. Hellebore is a powerful and toxic plant. Aconite, which hasn't bloomed yet, another poisonous plant. The yellow one's a ligularia. Got some camellia. We've got the maidenhair fern in there. We've got the ghost fern, Solomon seal, now liriope. We've got coral bells, hardy begonias, and then we have some wonderful powerful native medicinals, golden seal, and our patch is growing ever bigger. And then over there is black cohosh. In the spring we have trillium or birthroot, another medicinal, another native medicinal. And so this is the Manaso garden and the manigua all around. Beautiful, shady garden.
The hot dog.
Here we conclude our little walkthrough, showing a little bit of our little sacrifices and some of the little works that we have done and stuff. Hope you guys enjoy it and appreciate it, because we definitely do. Palo Congo Taino son tratados, Salamalongo,
Malongo sala.